Last I heard, he's tracking the syndicate.
Yeah, last I heard he was 3 over par.
Last I heard, sounding like someone torturing kittens.
Last I heard, my gym makes money.
I heard 5.
You heard wrong.
You heard him. Those were his last words.
Last I heard, he'd been defeated again.
Last I heard, Joe coaches women's wrestling.
POTUS is awake?
Yeah, last I heard.
I heard that.
Ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of the Last I Heard podcast. I am Lee Dempsey, along with the whole Gridiron Gang, once again, Josh Winch, Travis Rankins, as we go through Week 6 and are previewing Week 7 of the National Football League. All the news, all the trades, all the injuries, our pick'em updates, and some highlighted games for the next week that we're excited for. Many good games. I think we had some snoozers this last week. Little too easy on the prediction scale, I would say, for a couple of us here. But let's get into the thick of it, shall we? We had some trades. We had some breaking news. So let me talk about it.
News flash, asshole!
That's right. So much news. A lot of trades today, a lot of signings, all that jazz. Davante Adams gets traded to the New York Jets. Who saw that coming? Everybody and their brother. Everyone was banking on that one. Amari Cooper gets traded to the Bills because, the Browns are just a dumpster fire. Who didn't see that one coming? Vikings trade back for Cam Akers today. Whoop-de-doo. And Packers signed Brandon McManus, which is a big whoop-de-doo for the Packers because those kicking woes are basically the only weakness in that team, I would say.
There's a special teams thing.
Just overall, you think? You just think special teams overall?
Yeah.
All right.
It's been a problem my whole life. No, I take that back. It's Desmond Howard.
Okay. And then we have MVS gets released in the process of the trades. And if I were a bet man, he's going to go back to Kansas City. Injuries, we got Aiden Hutchinson placed on IR today. Chance he could come back at the end of the season, depending how deep they go. Yep, exactly, Travis. I don't think so. I don't think they should. And they put that pressure on him. I didn't agree with that one. But the question is, do they trade for somebody in the meantime to give him back that edge for such a huge and impactful player that Hutchinson is. And then also Giants, Andrew Thomas expected to miss a significant amount of time, possibly this season, with his injury. What'd you guys pull out of the weekend and then all the news from today that has happened for trades and all that jazz?
Well, it's been a wild 24, 48 hours for feels like the baseball trade deadline or something. And basketball, there's a lot of activity in one day there. Certainly a lot to touch on with Davante and Cooper. I actually want to start with the Hutchinson injury, though. That was pretty gruesome and nasty for those who got to see his leg get whipped.
Didn't watch.
I would like to see him make a move, and I know this is going to sound crazy, but I think it would make a lot of sense for both sides, given that the Lions have a lot of assets. Is Myles Garrett. I know it won't happen, and maybe thinking a little bit in fantasy land, but I hate to see it's like Joe Thomas. I hate to see a guy be in Cleveland his whole career and waste it away, especially with how talented he is. Having said that, I don't know that they'll move on him because obviously he's a generational talent, and it might take quite a bit for the Lions to get him. I do think it'd make a lot of sense for both sides, though. And the other stuff, Davante, I could care less. I think he's past his prime. Only thing I get annoyed with is the whole faking a hamstring injury. So he just sits out a few games, then he gets traded. Then watch, he's going to play right away this week, be fully healthy and ready to go. He was already in New York on the fucking Pat McAfee show today. So, I mean, we all knew it was coming, and here we are. I think the Amari Cooper trade is underrated. I like this trade a lot for Buffalo. And only giving up a third rounder for a guy that's been a high performer and very productive throughout his career. I think the pairing with him and Allen is going to be a really good one.
Yeah, I mean, with the Davante Adams news, I mean, it's literally Lambeau East. Officially, it's going to be Rodgers, and it's going to be Davante and Lazard. I think, what's it called to go to the third receiver now, Garrett Wilson, because he throws it to his buddies. Now, my thing about this is with Devontae is, okay, you're saying you want to do this because you want to win. Well, you left the Green Bay Packers, which was what? A great organization, to go play with your friend, Derek Carr, and be closer to your family. That, to me, does not sound like you want to win. That more sounds like you want to play with your friends. Okay, now you're mad that you're on the Raiders because your friend got traded, and now you want to go to the Jets to be back with one of your buddies again. But yet the Jets are 2-4, the same record as the Oakland Raiders, the Las Vegas Raiders. Okay, so what are we really gaining here? I saw some memes on the little Twitter X or whatever you want to call it these days, with the dog where it's like in the crack and then it gets out and then it jumps right back into the fucking and it's stuck again. It's like, yeah, you got out and then you're like, yeah, fuck it, let's go right back in.
Yeah.
So I just don't really understand the philosophy here, because I get it. Rodgers is still a great thrower of the football. When I watch him throw actually a good ball, it looks great. But, like, it's only few and far between now. Obviously, we saw with the Hail Mary last night. He still got it with some things. But when you're using, like, the red zone, and he just tries to do it all himself, and I just don't think that works anymore. Like, I saw it here 2 years ago in 2022 when we went 8-9 and we struggled in the red zone constantly. And that's what we saw again last night. All they had to do was score in the red zone, and they won that game easily. And just making kicks. I mean, they should have won the game last night. But I don't know that it's going to put them over the top here to really do anything significant. Like I said, they didn't win when they were in their prime in Green Bay, and we had a better franchise. So I don't really see it working that well here. Now, they do have a lot of easy teams coming up here, so they better make a run, but I don't know that they get to win. I don't know that they get to 10 wins. Buffalo Bills, though, good move. Mari Cooper, good. Josh Allen, believe it or not, he has not thrown an interception yet this year. He had 18 last year. He has not thrown an interception.
He looks really good too. He's made some
40, 9 of 30.
What?
I said the week before, though, 9 of 30 was not looking good.
No. But, I mean, you're going to have that with Allen. He's a gunslinger. He's the Favre type. You're going to have weeks where he just does that. But what are we, 6 weeks into the season? Pretty impressive for him not to have a pick, given how aggressive he is. I mean, that throw downfield to Ray Davis was just beautiful. To escape the rush, on the run, throw it 40 yards, hit the guy right in the hands.
And he almost didn't.
Speaking of that, too,
yeah.
They let go of Robert Saleh, right? That's their defensive guy, right? That he was supposed to be really good at defense. And then I saw this guy named Ray Davis never play really and just like torched him for 150 yards on the ground. Coincidence? I don't know. Oh, yeah, and guys, Rodgers is not running the Jets. He didn't have anything to do with Robert Saleh or the Devontae Adams thing.
Love it.
I gotta give Aaron Rodgers credit, because I'd never give him credit. The best thing I heard from Aaron Rodgers was this post-game interview after this game. I don't know if you guys caught this or not, but he's like, that pass interference call was absolute shit. He's like, that was one of the worst calls I've seen in my career, and it was on him, the one that we were all bitching about. Roughing the passer, sorry. Yeah, roughing the passer. I'm like, hey, look at that. Hey, I agree.
You saw it even in the game. They showed him mouthing it to the player. He's like, that's a bad call, man. I'm sorry. Like, he was like, that's rough. That's a rough call. Like, I don't know.
That game, the amount of how was there 30 penalties in that game?
Insane.
It was insane.
That was almost my worst.
Every play.
Rodgers used a great term. I forgot what it was called. It was on the South Park episode. So what is it? Sarcastable? What is it? Sarcastable, he said now? Are we turning this into Sarcastable? And it was basically an episode on South Park where they went to go play football or whatever and get less injuries and like be all about safety and like basically it was perfect. Actually, it was really perfect.
Yeah, he's witty. I do appreciate that.
Yep.
And he must have known that Devontae was coming over when he threw his receiver under the bus. I mean, it is his fault. He's probably just 2 weeks in a row. He's like, I ended the game fucking throwing to you with an interception, and you should have caught probably both of them, but you don't understand my language, so get the fuck out of here. Now I got my guy that'll know exactly what I'm doing, and I'm going to live and die with that and chuck it to him even when guys are wide open.
You got to be pissed if you're a fantasy owner for Garrett Wilson.
Yeah.
But if you're an Adams owner,
Yep.
real
Yeah,
happy.
good if you're. Yep, he's getting the ball 14 times a game.
Yes, sir. You're gonna see those receiving yards just go through the roof in the next couple of weeks here.
He's gonna be triple covered, and he's still getting the ball.
Yep.
One other thing that I did notice this weekend that was very surprising: Joe Public went 9-0 against the spread this week. If you were taking all road favorites, that basically means you're a square better if you took that and you went 9-0, because all the sharps went the other way. Well, I had a really good week, so I'm Joe Public, baby. Yeah, buddy. Don't ever let him tell you you're fucking an idiot. God, the sharps are on this side. The sharps, yeah, you got to take the plus points, bro. Yeah, shut the fuck up. Not every week. These clowns. It's week-to-week business. But 9-0 against the spread. That's Joe.
That's impressive.
I don't know
You
if
know
that's ever, like 9-0. Literally all road favorites won. That never happens.
No. Dude, well, I guess I'll take that and kind of go into the Pick'ems update. So I don't know if you caught it, Travis, but so Travis and I both went 14-14 on our picks.
Damn!
14-14. It was a hell of a week for us. Yeah. I was like, God, I wish I would have bet that. God, yeah, that would have been sick. But yeah.
On all those games, and that would have been nice. Oh no.
Yep. Can't bet them. Like it was easy last week too when I was picking them. I was like, this seems like too easy of a week, like too just straightforward up and down kind of.
Trapped. Like this doesn't look right, because we did our circa bets and we had pretty much all favorites, and we're like, oh my god, this is such chalk. This is not going to happen. But we're like, I don't know, what else would you pick? I feel good. And we went 4-1. The only pick we got wrong, we picked the Jaguars. Dumb.
Yeah, I was pretty close yesterday before the game picking the Jets, because I was like, man, the Jets defense and like.
Why didn't you, Lee?
I know I had a buddy.
I could have gained one.
I do pick'ems at work too, and one guy's like, hey Lee, any chance you're gonna pick the Jets tonight? And I was like, no, I'm not gonna pick the Jets.
I bet on the Jets. I picked them. I picked the Bills, but on the Jets.
Yeah.
Would have been right if their kicker fucking made any kicks. God, I'm so sick of my kickers that I need to have do well, not doing anything this year.
It's kind of funny because I feel like college kickers are having an incredible year and NFL kickers are not.
Yeah. Actually, no, kickers are doing well. Yeah. It's just the certain like 3 that aren't. There's actually a lot of discussion about people going, we need to make the goalposts actually left wide.
Yeah,
I think like the top 10 kickers, I should say, are consistent in the NFL.
Yeah,
like you have your ones, they're gonna make it.
Yeah.
We could all run through the same list of people, but there's a good handful that like even guys like Bill's kicker, like he was very consistent for a number of years, and now the last 2-3 years,
he's got the yips.
Struggle. Yep.
Yeah, dude.
That Joe Buck last night actually had a good commentary where he had a so bad that he's like, I saw better kickers on College Game Day on Saturday.
Yeah, I saw that too. That was good.
Yeah,
that was good.
Their College Game Day 2 weeks in a row, they've drilled them.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that one this week.
But yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's pretty cool. I like watching that little.
Well, they just got to raise the money. That's the key. You got to miss the first, and they'll give you a second chance.
Yeah. All right, let's get into our best and worst of the week, shall we? I'm gonna get started here. I like I said, very close to picking the refs on Monday night to be my worst, but thought that was gonna be too easy. Thought that was gonna be easy pickings there. Best of the week has really been almost the best of the year. Derrick Henry, and what he's been doing for the Ravens this year is absolutely insane. He's the first player with a rushing touchdown in his first 6 games since LT, and I think it was like 2006. Leads the NFL in rushing yards and rushing TDs with 8. The guy's been an absolute animal with that team, and man, it's like a match made in heaven. Exactly what those guys needed. It was it's fun to watch him again. It seemed like those last couple of years in Tennessee were like, is it the end of Derrick Henry here kind of thing? And no, it's just those guys letting their line go one guy at a time. It's just like, oh, that offensive lineman cost too much, he's gone, and they just ruined his career. So I'm glad he got out of there. worst of the weekend. I got a tag team here. I got the Cowboys and the Jaguars. I don't know how these teams haven't had a fire sale come Tuesday morning, because they both look terrible. They've been terrible. Like Doug Peterson, I didn't think was going to make it back on the plane ride home from London. Sure didn't think Mike McCarthy would make it this far, but his days are
They didn't
numbered.
come back from London. That's why. They didn't come back from London yet. That's why.
Oh, is
They
that?
play there again. Yeah.
Oh,
So
yeah.
next week, then he might get
Yeah.
fired.
Yep.
Like, yeah, we can't do that yet. They're still in London.
Yeah,
so.
could you imagine that special plane ticket just to send him back? It's like, we'll save some money, I guess. That's nuts. Yeah, that's my worst. What do you guys got?
I got a couple quick hitters here.
Go ahead, Trev.
I want to give Baker Mayfield his flowers here, man. He's been doing an unbelievable job. They scored 51 points last week. Baker, I think he's leading the NFL with 15 touchdowns. So congratulations to Baker. Along with that, Jordan Love, 12 touchdowns now. He's literally second in the NFL after missing 2 games as well. I know that he's also got a little bit of some interceptions here with 6. But last week he threw one that wasn't even his fault. So he actually had no balls where I was like, man, that was a bad throw. It was just Bo Melton fell down and happened to go to the defender behind him. Like, terrible. So good job, Jordan Love. He actually, he has, 2 touchdowns in his last 10 games, 2 or more touchdowns in his last 10 games, which only 10 other quarterbacks have done in the NFL history. Tom Brady obviously being the other one with 14. You got Aaron Rodgers also tied with 14, and then you got Brett Favre with 11, just to name 3 of the 10. I think Cam Newton's on that list and a couple others, Drew Brees, something like that. But, yeah, awesome stat there for Jordan Love. Like I said, he's going to be my MVP pick. He was my MVP pick this year, and he missed 2 games, and I still think he's got a chance at that. So, yeah, hats off to him. And then my worst of the week, Dallas Cowboys. Wow. I mean, show up. Wow, that was horrible. And you're at home again. You have gotten your ass kicked at home like the last 4 times you've played. That is unacceptable. I'm sorry. I would fire Mike McCarthy right now, even though I know it's not all him, because Jerry Jones is running the organization and he's the one that's actually the fuck up. However, if you talk to him about that, he's a dictator and says, I'm going to fire you and you can't ask me these questions because I'm Putin. Like, what are we doing here? Shut up, Jerry Jones. Like, you're such a joke. And Jacksonville Jaguars, yeah, you're a joke. Trevor Lawrence, you're a joke. You are a fucking joke. And you got $55 million a year to play worse than ever. I'm sorry. That's awful. Just inexcusable. And that organization deserves everything they get, just like the Browns. Josh, what do you got?
It's funny. I'll pick up where you left off there. The worst. I wrote down 3 teams. You guys have hit on all of them. The Jags, the Browns, and the Cowboys. I think they're all in the same boat. Franchises that are poorly run, and you can see players quitting. And it's pretty sad to see. I think it's Andre Cisco from the Jaguars just called out the entire team. It's basically like, I can already tell guys are quitting on us. It's just, I mean, you're getting paid millions of dollars. I wish some of these guys would just show up with an enthusiasm unknown to mankind. You know, the old Harbaugh quote there. Like, I don't get it. I especially if I'm the Cowboys. You have now the highest paid quarterback and top 3 paid receiver, and you don't score a fucking touchdown the entire game. That's embarrassing, especially against the Lions defense that was at best average against the pass heading into that game. Wow. McCarthy wouldn't have made it off the field if I was the GM, but that's Mr. 82-year-old Jerry Jones for you. Yeah, I mean, those 3 franchises are the epitome of never going to do anything. My best of the week should make my 2 colleagues here pretty happy is the NFC North in its entirety. Best division in football, top to bottom, some really good football being played with all 4 teams. I know I've given Caleb Williams his grief, and so I should give him his flowers. In the last 2 games, he has looked really good. The Bears defense is legit. You know how I feel about the Lions. I was bragging about them last week, and all they did was ass kick the the Cowboys, 47-9. And then the Vikings are all rested up and ready for a big week, and the Pack with another strong showing at home. So this division, top to bottom, worst record is 4-2. Is very, very strong. I'd be surprised if there's not 3 teams that make the playoffs out of the NFC North at the end of the season.
Add to that, I got a little stat of the day for you. So I'm gonna stat of the day. Top 4 teams in the point differential right now in the NFL: Vikings plus 63, Lions plus 60, Bears plus 47, and Packers plus 41. That is 1 through 4.
Woo!
The best teams in the league.
That's impressive, boys.
Love it. We score. We take the ball away. Can't believe it. Yeah, that draft I think was a good sign of what things to come. Like, I was pretty happy the way our drafts went through the North, and it seemed like it's paying out right now. Like you said, best team in the league, right, or best division in the league right now. Love it.
Yeah, I can't wait. We'll start getting into some divisional games coming up here soon, and those are going to be some hard-fought physical football, the old school NFC North that I used to love watching and beat the shit out of each other.
Black and blue division.
Yep.
Yeah, speaking of that, I mean, Green Bay has multiple takeaways in the first 6 games. The only team in the NFL to do that, and the first time they've done that since 1996. Do you guys know what happened in 1996? The Packers won the Super Bowl.
I will say this, though. 2 teams haven't played their 6th game yet. So I'll just say that. Lions and Vikings both had buys. So there's still a chance.
That's okay. That's quite all right.
They could do it too.
Yeah, this would be almost the same as Favre, right? Because he won in his, was it the second year? So he came in from it wasn't his third?
It was 3rd or 4th year.
Okay. I was like, he came in from Mikowski that after got hurt. That would have been like.
3 was the first year he started, 93, 94, 95. Actually, was probably his 4th year.
Okay. I was going to say that could be a coincidence.
Early success, too, once he started.
Mm-hmm.
So
Took Rodgers in his 3rd year, he got it.
Yeah.
So next year.
Nope. This year.
All right.
Man, I feel like we're flying through right now. The next ones we got. Let's go through our power ranking, shall we?
I better cut that off.
Yeah, make sure I don't get the copyright. I want to keep writing them.
We're gonna get this episode deleted.
Yeah, right. Just because I want to hear that guitar solo. Power rankings here. I'm gonna start number 5. Don't have like a lot of change. Just got that one team, one that you guys had brought up the week before that I did not. Brought down the Commanders and I brought up the Ravens. But I got Texans right now staying at number 5, or moved down to number 5. Still a good team, but the Ravens are making so much noise up there. I had to add them to the 4th at least, just because they look so good. Number 3, I got the Lions still right there, just because I can't move them any higher because of the next 2 we're on a bye, and that's the Chiefs at 2 and the Vikings at 1. I can't knock them down just because they got to rest. So yeah, that was pretty easy, pretty quick to slide through all of them. But yeah, not a lot of movement for me.
It's interesting because I feel like this is the earliest in the season. Travis, you can go next, obviously. Earliest in the season, I feel like all 5 of us are going to have the same 5 teams in different order, but it's pretty consensus if you look across the power rankings here. The top 5 teams as of this week. So interesting because I've never felt this way so early in a season.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have the exact same top 5 because none of them lost, and one of them was idle with a bye, so I can't really take anybody out. So I had the Ravens at 5, good win against the Commanders on the road. Number 4, the Texans, another good win they had. They're coming to Green Bay, though, this week. Look for the Packers they're an honorable mention this week. They're number 6, just outside, and it looks like they are going to crack that top 5 next week when the Texans come to town and the Packers beat them. At number 3, I got the Lions. And then at number 2, I got the Minnesota Vikings, which, I mean, I can't believe it still. I still am just in awe. Like, before the season started, Lee, I remember you going, this is just a rebuilding year. Yeah, and now all of a sudden we're like, Vikings, are they the best team in the league? They're not, though, because we still have the Kansas City Chiefs in this league. So the Kansas City Chiefs are number 1, and that is my top 5 with an honorable mention number 6. Yours, Green Bay.
We all got the same top 5 teams, as I said, so I'll run down the list quick. At number 1, I have the Vikings remaining there after their bye week. Number 2, I know it's not the Chiefs. I'm sorry. I don't like them, so they ain't going to make it up to the top 2 in my list. I got the Ravens. To me, this team has been the most impressive over the last 4 games. Last week, I had them at 5. I looked at the teams ahead of them, and I asked myself, if they played today, would the Ravens win? And I felt like they would beat all these teams, which is now the Chiefs, Lions, and Texans. The Chiefs are 5-0, obviously coming off a bye as well. I kept them in the same slot I had them last week. The Lions, I love the Lions. Man, this team is fun. That game ball, if you guys didn't see that, oh, God, that gives you the chills.
Yeah.
When you give out a game ball and you give it back to the coach and he gets emotional about it, nothing better.
Love these guys, man.
This team is so fucking locked in. Yeah. It's just this is sports. That's why you gotta love it. Texans, I feel like, have that same culture though. D'Amico Ryans has done a great job building a culture down there in Houston. So, man, that top 5 is loaded. I'd love to see some of these teams start to battle, and we get to see it this week. Lions take on the Vikings.
Yes,
so,
sir.
What I don't get about the NFL scheduling right now is, even before this week, like I could have told you this in May when the schedule came out. Texans Packers is a noon game. Yeah. When you have the 2 quarterbacks up and coming that like could be the best in the league at some point, like why?
Yeah, there's a problem there. You forgot the Packers don't have Aaron Rodgers anymore.
Yeah, you're right. That's why we have the best in
no,
the
no.
league.
That's why you're not playing in prime time. Because they just keep putting this damn old man on Monday night and Sunday night.
They do.
Yeah.
No, but it's also York. They put for God's sakes on the damn fucking Thursday, Monday, Sunday, all the time. Like who wants to watch that?
Well, we have a Super Bowl rematch at 3:25 this weekend. That's nuts. Like what?
On Sunday night.
Yeah, that's insane. Like they.
You know what Sunday?
What they're doing.
What is Sunday night? I think it's a really ludicrous game, actually. Let's see. What is Sunday night?
It's the Jets.
Oh, my.
Oh, yeah, it is. Against the Steelers.
I'm telling you, dude.
It's the game that they want. Could they have flexed this? Or is it not? Is that not?
No,
possible?
not yet. But I'm telling you, they put how many Monday night or Sunday night or Thursday night games does Rodgers have? I feel like it's insane.
All of them.
Every week?
All of them.
It's okay. Then we get to watch them, I guess, every week. Green Bay still gets to watch them. That's probably why they do it. We need the Green Bay fans to still watch their man. It's number 8.
Yeah, I actually wouldn't be surprised. I mean, you got all of New York watching, plus you got Green Bay then watching.
I just love watching his expressions all the time. Like, just
his eyes.
Clown. Just always pissed off someone or something.
At the end of that game, when they show him on the bench, it was very subtle, but he was like just shaking his head, but it was so subtle you could barely see it. And then Joe Buck's like shaking his head, and I'm like, all right, they did catch it. Okay. I was
like, what's new? What's new? It's Rodgers.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah, I love it.
Joe Buck, I do really like listening to him. I feel like he does a good job. I know. I'm in the minority there.
Fucking hate him.
I think most Packer fans don't like him. I think he's significantly better than a lot of options out there, so that's why I'll take that. Like a lot of the noon guys, you're just like, what? Who is this Joker? Like just terrible. They all have to have like their own unique voice for it all the time. Like it's just terrible. Like
we should have like a top 5 our
announcers. Yeah,
my best is Tony Romo, Jim Nance, and Tracy Wolfson is my best, and then followed by.
You better not say fucking Tom Brady.
No. Well, he's gonna be up there quickly, but Kevin Harlan. I mean, that guy.
Kevin Harlan coming back is great. I love that.
Kevin Harlan reminds you of like younger football. That's why you got that nostalgia of him.
Yep.
And I love listening to him on the radio, honestly, like him and Ross Tucker, man, or Kurt Warner whenever they're on, man. I love it.
Yeah.
When I'm in my car listening to the Sunday night or Monday night game when I'm going to bowling or whatever, love them.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, I wish.
I really like Michaels and Herb Street. I think that's a good combo.
Yeah,
too.
I think they're decent. Herbie, I think Herbie's all right. I think I don't know. They're not my favorite.
He reminds me more like I'm listening to a college game. Like I can't get out of that mindset.
I think that's why.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah.
But I like Greg Olson too.
Greg the leg's the man.
Yeah, like
what's that?
Greg Olson.
Greg the third leg is the man.
Greg Olson's been awesome. He just hasn't gotten great games though.
Yeah.
Like Brady basically took his spot, and that's a shame.
No. Al Michaels, though, he's losing it because he doesn't get very excited anymore. And I'm like, dude, that was just like a game-breaking play, and you're like,
I do like Iron Eagle too.
Oh yes.
Iron Eagle's decent.
He's third actually, probably for me. Third.
He's and his dad's a commentator too, right?
No. Iron Eagle's the dad.
Oh, Noah's the young guy. Yeah.
From NBC now, is he on?
I think they keep changing every year.
I don't know.
Yeah, but those guys have smaller contracts for sure. I don't remember. All right. Yeah, we got through all the power rankings here.
Let me give you my stat of the day. I shared out on our hit it.
Stat of the day.
So Travis would probably agree with this. I heard this is the ultimate. You know, we always talk about hot takes, right? I forgot who said this. Probably Nick Wright. But compared Daniel Jones to Pat Mahomes. He's like, Daniel Jones would be the same success if he was on the Chiefs.
There's no way he said that. That wasn't Nick Wright because Nick Wright doesn't win.
I'll find it and I'll send it to you guys. But my stat of the day revolves around Mr. Daniel Jones, who somehow has almost gone 2 years without throwing a passing touchdown in his home stadium. 651 days without throwing a passing touchdown in MetLife. And man, what is that guy getting paid? Like 50 million? 45? 40? Yeah, I'll take it. Damn, sign me up for that money.
That's insane.
Well, now you're a quarterback, you just make 50 million. You didn't have to. You play 10 games, good. 50 million. You got it.
Yep.
You got it, kid.
Yep. If you play 10, let's say you get 10 wins over 2 seasons, you're getting 50 million. It's fucking stupid.
It's the problem is it's gotten even worse. Like I remember back in the day when the Falcons had Mike Vick and Matt Schaub. Then they traded Schaub to Houston Texans and immediately signed him to a long-term deal after 3 games.
Yep, and then he did nothing.
Yeah, and I'm like, what? But it's only exponentially gotten worse. Now you got guys that are just signing Trevor Lawrence $55 million, Daniel Jones $45, whatever the hell it is. Mm-hmm. It's like, bro, there's better options. I'd rather have Tyler Huntley for $3 million than
Matt Flynn.
Yeah, Matt Flynn.
One game he played, and then
Seahawks
I'm gonna get the bag.
Yeah.
$60 million.
And then they got Russell Wilson though.
Now that's the one thing we did not talk about. So Steelers now sound like they are going to pivot back to Russell Wilson.
How?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but for me, I think that's the dumbest idea ever. I don't really like Russell Wilson. Not saying that Justin Fields is playing great either, but you're 4-2. He's not turning the ball over. It's not like he's doing anything to lose games. Why wouldn't you stick with him? Mm-hmm. And if you do lose maybe these next 2 games, he doesn't play that well. Maybe then after the bye, make the move. But right now, I just don't make that move. What do you guys say?
I couldn't agree more. I've actually been pretty impressed with Fields' play this year. Not that he's doing anything amazing, but he's not losing them the games, and his legs have been invaluable for the team. Yep. He scored 2 rushing touchdowns this past weekend. He's quick. He's able to get on the edge, so everyone jam-packs to stop the run. He can bootleg out, make some plays. I like the style that they can win with. I think it'd be a big mistake to go to Russell because we all know he's the most erratic thrower of the football over these last few years.
One enticing thing to watch for Sunday night is just the shit show that could be Russell Wilson. Fucking running for his life and just throw it away. Yeah, I'm going to throw it away 10 yards in front of me to the defender. It's just what the hell is going through your mind, brother? That guy's just thinking of what is he going to say in the next Subway commercial? Like, it's just, I don't know. That guy doesn't love football anymore. So just,
I'd be shocked if he starts. I think that'd be a really bad move.
I mean, all the things I'm reading today sound like
it sounds like he took first team reps.
Like,
I heard.
like, yeah, we gave him some first team reps today, and he's getting back into it.
That's just terrible.
Yeah.
How do you pull a guy who went 4-2? Didn't really do anything to hurt the team.
You got me, man.
I don't know.
I want to give a shout out to Drake May. First start of his NFL career. He looked really sharp. Got to give him some credit in a tough team to play against the Texans. We were all talking about it last week. That's a hell of a first start. That throw to Kayshon Boutte was beautiful. Down the sidelines, hit him right in the stride for, I think it was a 40, 50-yard touchdown. I was impressed. He showed some good mobility in the game as well, extending plays. And I saw Bill Belichick take a shot at the organization and the coaching staff today, but compliment him. So that was cool to see.
Saw that.
I like Drake. I'm not the biggest. I don't believe in him long term, I guess is the best way I can say it. But I hope I'm wrong. I've been wildly impressed by Bo Nix. I think he's played really well so far this season for a guy that a lot of people wrote off in the draft, and I'm excited to see him progress.
Tag team that a little bit to add to it. Spencer Rattler getting the start for the Saints. I thought he did pretty decent. You know, like that's a tough ass team to go against when your name is called to get in there. But throwing his first touchdown, threw a good one to Bub Means, who was nobody, a rookie. I'm sure they're fighting for who's ever getting that ball.
Until 2 days ago. I hadn't heard about him.
Yeah, I had him on my taxi squad in a couple fantasy leagues, but I didn't think he'd see the light of day anytime soon. So, yeah, I had one of the worst all-time weeks in fantasy football with and then Spencer Rattler and Memes on my taxi squad. They did better than pretty much everybody on my team. So, it's a pretty great weekend for me to watch football and just see Saquon Barkley do nothing. Mike Evans be the only Buccaneer to do nothing. Like, it was just constant. Everyone underneath probably 8 points. Andy Dalton was my lone star who got over 10 points. It was like, fucking kill me, dude. Brutal.
It's rough.
Yep. All right, here. We got so our pick'ems. We like I said, Winch and I went perfect, 14-14. Couldn't have done better than that. That was pretty awesome to look at and follow throughout the Sunday slate. Travis, you did fairly well as well. I think you did, I want to say 12. I can't remember. But so right now, the points total right now, I'm leading 62, Josh with 58, and Travis 54 with that +6 that we got for you on there. So still pretty good. It's pretty still solid race we got going on. But yeah, once you didn't catch me, and that felt good.
I checked it before. I never check it, and I checked it before Monday night, and I'm like, holy shit, I'm 13 for 13. And then I looked at yours, and I'm like, motherfucker. I was like, he's also 13 for 13. I was like, I'm never going to make any games up. So this is the week. We'll make some games up.
I think there were some tough ones here. And I think some of these games can go either way. So it's exciting. And with that being said, let's get into some of those games. Good to note that Cowboys and Bears have a bye week this week, so don't look for them to play.
That's good for the Cowboys.
Yeah, it is. They need it.
They could use a non-loss.
Bears could probably schedule to or study to beat a team that has more than one win. That's how they could probably look better. Let's see. Gotta find the right app here. All right. So first game on the docket we have is the Seahawks against the Falcons in Atlanta. Falcons have it going on right now. And they're kind of willing to give the ball to absolutely anybody except for Bijan. Bijan's still, I don't know, not a guy who's being that impactful for the team. Algiers. What's that?
He did have 25.
He had 25?
Hey, his most points he's ever had, I think, in fantasy.
Oh, really?
It is, because I'm
Maybe I missed
like,
that.
whoa, you got
He had two. He had two, but I'll be honest. Algier probably had 60% of the snaps in that game.
Yeah.
still.
Yeah. That's what I'm getting at. Like he's
so he's Aaron Jones, basically junior. Like
Yeah.
they're not going to use more than Porsche.
I don't understand that, but I do like Algier. He's a physical guy,
Yeah.
but it's like, damn, how do you have this talent and not use him more?
Right. Yeah. So with that, Seahawks in Atlanta, I'm going to take the Falcons here. I think the Falcons win this one again. Kirko probably throws a couple more touchdowns. I'll probably take 28 to 24. Falcons.
Yeah, so last week it was all Joe Public's going with the away favorites and not going with the home dogs. Well, we're going with the home favorites this week. That's going to be the trend. So we're going to go with the Atlanta Falcons to win at home. I think they can score on the Seahawks. I think it's going to be a higher scoring game. I think it's going to be like 34-31. Let's go, 34-31. Atlanta wins it.
I agree. I was going to say 35-28. Atlanta wins it. High scoring game, back and forth. Both teams are 350 yards passing-ish style of game. Get up and down the field. It'll be a fun one to watch. Gino, I think, is leading the league in passing yards, by the way.
He could be. Yeah.
That sounds right. Yep. I think I saw that.
And Brock Purdy's right behind him.
Yeah.
Race 2K. They're both like 400 yards away.
Next game we got is the Texans in Green Bay against the Packers here. This is one of those tight ones. This is going to be one of them good ones. This is
It's
gonna be fun.
This one where I was like, I don't know, I can kind of go either way, but I'm gonna give the Packers the edge because they're at home here. I think that's always a big factor for the Pack. Score, I think it's gonna be tough here to pick one. I'm gonna go probably in the 30s here as well. I feel like we've been having some higher scoring games over the last few weeks. I'm gonna go 33-28. Packers.
With Nico Collins out, Houston coming to town, young team. It's going to be a whiteout at Lambeau. They're going to be wearing their white jerseys with white pants, white helmets for the first time ever. It's going to be fucking gnarly. I'm going to be getting something that's white, so I'm going to be all whited out too. And it's not racist for all these people out there that are into that stuff. But
wear your hoods, Green Bay.
It's going to be great. It's going to be a 70-degree day. It's not going to be cold, but that's what they kind of wanted. That's why I don't know why they're doing a whiteout game now. However, with that being said, I think the Packers are grooving. I like their defense and the way they're causing turnovers. I think they get a couple more this weekend. I think Jordan Love continues his ascent to the MVP throne, and he has another 3 touchdowns this week and 0 picks. And I think Romeo Doubs finds the end zone again. And all is right in Packer Nation at 1265 Lombardi Avenue. And the Packers win this one 30-24.
Gone back and forth on this one. I'm going to go with my gut. My gut tells me, unfortunately, the Pack will come out with a dub.
I was ready for the lone wolf button so hard.
I know. God, they've been on a tear, and the turnover bug has bit the Texans a little bit this season too. And obviously the Packers have feasted on turnovers. Joe Mixon is my only equalizer here. I do worry a little bit about Mixon against the Packers. I think he could have a big day going for 150 plus. The boy's a beast, and the Packers have always been not great at the run defense. So that being said, I like the Packers to win by a field goal. Maybe your boy McManus kicks it 31-28.
Go.
Woo. I like it. Next game we got here.
It's going to be a fun one.
The Detroit Lions visit the Minnesota Vikings.
Woo.
This is gonna be an interesting one. I think this is probably the Vikings' toughest test of the season right here. I'm not loving it. This is one of those where I'm glad the Lions are without Hutchinson for this game because he is a game wrecker for sure. And Darnold's kind of had a few hits this season already where I kind of get worried about him because he's it. Everyone else is dog shit behind him. So I'm still going to give the edge to the Lions. I think I'm going to pick them in this one. I think they're just such a damn good football team. So
no faith in your team, Lee. They're number 1 on the power rankings.
They are, but I don't take in consideration of who I think would beat who. I think it's just who's dominating and what games they have played. What have you done for me?
Oh,
I don't live in the fantasy. I don't live in the fantasy land of the what ifs. I want to know the facts, and
I'll give you some facts in a second.
I'm going to take the Lions here over the Minnesota Vikings. We'll go 35-24.
Did the Lions whoop last week against the Dallas Cowboys? Is that right?
Yeah.
They won by like 50 points. Well, teams that usually do that the next week don't cover. So I think they're on a high right now. They're all loving life. And obviously Aiden Hutchinson's out, so that kind of sucks. But I think they're on a high right now. They're coming into a buzzsaw. Vikings are off a bye. Have a whole week to prepare for this. Is Aaron Jones going to play?
Don't know yet.
What's his what about TJ Hawkinson?
He's playing.
Yeah, Hawk is gonna play. They got Cam Akers now in there, so they got an extra help in the backfield. It won't just be the Ty Chandler show.
No-brainer for me. I'm picking the Vikings, but man, if he doesn't play, I can see when teams don't have him. I know what it's like, and then all of a sudden you're
the same as last year. Then, yeah. This will literally be the same team as last year, even like to a T with Cam Akers now.
It's going to be a contingency, but I'm going to go with the Vikings right now to win this game. It's going to be a hard-fought game, but I think they're going to get it done in the end, being at home, and then they're going to win this game 27-23.
Pressure and the nervousness, going through all the anxiety. The last quarter, I can feel it. Just sitting on the coffee table, head between my knees, fucking like shit.
Gotta love sports. I completely agree with Travis. I'm a little nervous about. You don't see teams perform that well back-to-back weeks in the NFL. With the Lions just ass whooping the Cowboys last week, and then going to have to play a 5-0 team, it makes me a little nervous about how they're going to show up and perform. Give me a minute.
We got our weekly guest here.
Kicking the door down. What's up, Trey?
Over that.
You can say hi.
Hi.
They can hear you. See?
Hi.
How we doing?
Good.
Say good night.
Good night.
Good night, bud.
Night, buddy.
A little guest appearance.
Yep. Love it. It's like a new mascot.
No, I'm a little nervous about the Lions coming off of that win, which is my only hesitation in this game. I think this is going to be a really physical football game, one of the ones I love to watch. I've gone back and forth on who I want to pick in this one too. Ultimately, I'm gonna go with the Lions to get the road W here, 28-24. But I would not be surprised if I was wrong. I do like Darnold to put up 3 touchdowns. Texted you that. I think he's gonna have a pretty good outing against a average, like I said, at best pass defense without Hutch now too.
Yep. That's a good point. I hope so, man.
I think it's
a fun game.
In my opinion, the Vikings will struggle a little bit to stop the run. The Lions will struggle to stop the pass. So it's kind of going to be up and down that way.
All right. Yeah.
One ready game again.
Yep.
Another one.
Mm-hmm.
Next game we got.
This.
Oh, sorry.
Shit. This sucks.
Sorry. Say what are you gonna say?
Because I can't watch these games again. That's the only thing I hate about going to games.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, I still got to pick a game.
Why can't you watch? Can't you watch it afterwards?
I mean, I could, but afterwards I'm already hammered, and then I'm probably going to bed. Or 6. I was probably in bed by 6 p.m.
I love it.
You're missing all these games. Damn.
Yeah.
Okay, the next game we got 325. Absolutely ridiculous. Kansas City Chiefs in San Francisco. The Super Bowl rematch here against the 49ers. This one, I'm surprised it's as even as they're saying it's going to be, because I think this is just a Chief game. Like, this is just one of those, again, where the Chiefs are going to come out on top. Doesn't really matter what goes on or the fact that it's in San Fran. Like, the Chiefs are just going to be they're going to be the Chiefs. They're going to do enough to win this game. It's going to look like every other win this year that they've had, where they just hang around, and then comes down to the final couple drives, and boom, there you go. So with that being said, yeah, the Chiefs, I'm picking them over the 49ers. I'm probably going to go 28-24. I think Mahomes has been like meh this year. I think he's 6 touchdowns, 6 picks last I looked. Not impressive whatsoever. Maybe comes back a little bit to his senses and, has to step up, realizes what this game means, and takes care of the ball.
I think Kansas City loses this game. San Francisco, obviously, revenge game. They've beaten them in the Super Bowl the last couple years that they've been to the Super Bowl, and I think that's just the game they're going to get up for. And the way the Kansas City's playing right now, I'm not that confident in them being able to win this game. Now, if it was in January, yeah, no doubt, Chiefs win the game. But we're in October, so they got to lose a game at least one time here coming up. So give me the home team again, San Francisco, to win this game 27-20.
Damn. We had almost the exact same score. I was going to go with 49ers to win at home 24-20. I like this game to be a very physical game, just like we've talked about with the Lions and Vikings. This is going to be in a similar kind of defensive mindset of game. Purdy has played well so far this season. Mahomes has struggled. I would expect probably have 2 touchdowns, 0 picks. Purdy kind of the same stat line, but the trenches on both sides is going to be fun to watch. And I like the 49ers to win the regular season game. It's always like, who gives a fuck for the Chiefs? They don't care about regular season anyway. So these are the games they'll give up to make the team feel good until they get to the playoffs, and then they win it. So that's classic NFL script. I'm sorry. Oh, script? Oh, I mean, that's what they want you to think.
Game 22 penalties, by the way. We didn't mention that. 22 penalties last night.
Fucking insane.
I saw on Twitter, literally everybody's like, this is unwatchable. This is like unbelievable, blah, 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 blah. And it's just like, someone even had a good one. Like, see if I can remember this. He said, the NFL product is actually trash and we're just addicts. And that's so true. Like, I'm sorry, but football isn't even like, it's not even, it makes me more mad than anything when I watch it. I hate that I love the game and they can extort the fuck out of me.
They've got your soul.
Yeah.
At least I'm not addicted to like crack or something. So I guess there is that.
I don't know.
At least.
I think it's always highs when you're on crack, at least. There is no losses.
You control the W's.
Yeah, it's like, you're like, at least you do some things you wouldn't do sober, and you'd go and get some money for that, get some drugs for that. You don't.
Right, the stress is probably equivalent. So
yeah.
Stress is definitely equivalent. My biggest frustration with the NFL and college football and football in general is just the hitting bothers me. Like, I wish they would not have gone so extreme over the last 20 years. The product 20 years ago, if you watch any of the plays versus now, is just so different. And I just wish we could not have gone so drastic. I get player safety. I'm all about it. Obviously, I'll have my boys playing football someday, so I totally get that. I don't want to be brain dead or have CTE. But I don't think we have to go from 0 to hero and have these guys wearing like fucking cap gowns on their helmets and can't touch a player, otherwise it's roughing the passer. And it's like, some of the calls I'm seeing, it's just, I don't know how people don't get so aggravated about it. It's like, this is absolutely crazy.
I do. Like last night, okay, that was a horrible one on Rodgers with the whole he didn't put a mattress under him to let him down, whatever. I don't understand. But there was one in college this weekend. They did reverse it, but they called a penalty. I can't remember if it was it the Utah game maybe. He's throwing the ball. Dude comes in and hits him with his face mask like this in his shoulder, and it looks like he just goes like this, into his shoulder, throws the pick, and they're like targeting on this dude, and I'm like, targeting? What do you like? Wait. I also had a bet on this game, so it was really looking questionable when they called this. They're showing the replay over and over because they have to, go to the monitor and see, was it targeting and should we kick this player out? And then they come back and they're like, yeah, it wasn't even a penalty. Everything's good. And I'm like, yeah, what are we doing here? Like, it wasn't even not even close to a penalty, and they're sitting here trying to kick this kid out of the game.
Yeah. I never understood targeting in college because it seems like it's just willy-nilly for majority of the time. Like,
guys kicked out of the games and then kicked out for next week, first half and shit. It's the dumbest shit ever. You should never get kicked out unless it looks like you're literally trying to kill someone. Like that guy from the Broncos last year. Like every time he did it, it looked like he was trying to kill someone. Okay, I get that. But like when you're just going to make a play and a guy puts his head down and you go in for the tackle and he puts his head down, like how are you supposed to help that? Like you were at his chest and then his head goes down, so then it looks like helmet to helmet. Yep. And it's like, what are they supposed to do?
I don't know.
Okay, rant of the day over.
Looking for something.
I'm sending it to you, boys.
Okay. Is this something you want to
You can watch it after the show. Okay. But Miami played Cal last weekend, and there was a controversial late hit in that game. And both broadcasters, Reese Davis and Brock Osweiler, whatever the fuck his name is.
Brock Osweiler, is there?
Yep. And they both said it was targeting, and you can watch it afterwards. I just can't understand. Targeting to me is you're trying to literally hurt someone or end their playing career. That should be the definition of targeting. Not, I don't give forcible contact to the head or neck. I don't give a fuck. Okay. If you, it's pretty obvious. If you show me a play and I watch that play and you are maliciously going after that head, that's targeting. If you're leading with your shoulder and you make contact with the helmet, it's not fucking targeting. And I think we've gotten so lost in that blurred line.
Yeah.
Now you're seeing stupid ass calls like we saw the Aaron Rodgers mattress call. Like that's what we should just call it. I don't understand. And the NFL, NCAA, football in general has gotten way too soft with some of these targeting and roughing the passer calls, and it's frustrating as a fan. That to me is where the product has gone downhill. The line of scrimmage, the physicality of running the ball, I love all that. That really hasn't changed. To me, what's changed is you throw the ball over the middle, the receiver gets popped, and now there goes a flag.
Yep.
Actually, the running has changed because we don't actually see this in the game in real time. But then 2 days later, like Josh Jacobs is just making a normal run. Oh, he got fined $45,000 because he put his helmet down. Like,
yeah,
that stuff is.
I didn't know that, but that's crazy.
Like this keeps happening in the NFL. Like every week, these guys are getting these fines that you don't even know about.
Yep.
Like they're literally getting sent these letters. Yeah, you did this in the game. Yeah, that's a fine.
Wild, man.
It is very wild.
That to me is the most frustrating thing. I just wish there was consistency around some of the calls. I was impressed. I love these expedited reviews though. Those are fun. Like the Wilson touch. Yeah, the Wilson touchdown catch. I was like, great job. That's exactly what it should look like. Yeah. You got both feet in. The call was done in 30 seconds, and we moved on.
That was nice.
Did you see, though, last Thursday? Again, have money on the game, so it looks even worse. Punt return. Dude misses the ball completely, and the ball goes back up, and you can see he touches it with his finger. They call it that he didn't touch it and that it was down. They go to replay it. You can clearly see it on the broadcast. He touched it with his finger. Like, it is very slight. But when you see the one shot, you can see he touches it. They come back and go, nope, play on the field stands. And the guy on the thing was like, we can clearly see that it touched. And then they said after the game, oh, we didn't have that look.
Yeah.
Oh, so me sitting on my couch at home has a better look than you guys actually officiating a freaking game? There's no way. No way. I don't believe it.
No,
I don't believe it
either.
for a second.
I don't either. They should have. There should only be this like whatever how many of you like. There should be the 4 that they show us, and that's really it. Like there shouldn't be any like. Well, you guys couldn't see it, but we saw it, so we blah blah blah. Or the fact, like you said, oh, we didn't get it, so we didn't see it. It's like, dude, what? How is that an excuse to come in with? That doesn't make any sense. They should just be. We should all be looking at the same ones, even if there's only 2. At least we're all on the same page about everything. Yeah,
it's ridiculous, and it's gotten even more ridiculous now that they added obviously gambling and all that. And it's like,
yeah,
I don't think the game is rigged, but I think the officiating sometimes is that they're biased and they're going to say, call this on this team or call this on this team, and they do this. I do believe that is going on.
Yeah, I agree. And the announcers are too. And not that they have a say in the game, but you can clearly tell who they're rooting for in a game.
And it's like last year with the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, like, I agree, they were holding a lot, and they never called a penalty on them. Like, why didn't they do that? They didn't call one the whole playoffs, I heard, on them.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I don't know. Shit's questionable.
So we still have one more game. So let's the Ravens at the Buccaneers. This one, the Buccaneers red hot. Ravens red hot. Like, this is going to be a good game. This is a co-Monday night game, shared with the Chargers and Cardinals, which I'm not a fan of. I can't watch those 2 games at the same time, so I have to pick one or the other to flip back and forth. I hate it.
Well, good news. Unless you have ESPN Plus, you're not watching the Cardinals and Chargers.
Oh,
there's
nice.
Games on Monday again?
Yeah.
Figure it out, all you fucking hacks, dude.
I just wish they would start. If they started one at like 6:30 or 5:30, like 6 o'clock,
right?
6 and 8
hours.
Yeah. Spread it out.
Yep. Insane. Yeah. So Ravens at Buccaneers. I think this Buccaneers team is something special, but I think the defense on the Ravens is just going to be a little too much. I think I got to give the Ravens the edge here. I think it's gonna be a really fun game. I think it's probably. I know we talked about some of the close, exciting games of the week, but man, if this one disappoints, that's going to be a shocker. I feel like this has got to be the game of the week. I'm going to pick the Ravens over the Buccaneers here. We'll go 35-28. I know I already picked that score for a game, but I like it.
This one is a really tough one. Oh, man. I could see Baltimore letting down here after a couple good wins in a row, but I think they are the better team, so I'm going to go with them this week, and they do need a win, so they don't want to go to 4-3. They want to go 5-2. I think they'll be able to do enough on the run game and keep the ball out of Baker's hands. So I don't think it is going to be as high scoring because I think they're going to do ball control. So give me Baltimore to win this game, 24-20.
Yeah, I like the Ravens in this one. Similar score to Trav. I'm going to go 27-23. This is going to be a competitive game as well. Wouldn't be surprised if it comes down to a kick at the end, one way or another. I like both these offenses. Different styles. The Buccaneers are up and down with their throwing. Ravens, my God, this looks like a Madden franchise dream of Henry and Lamar.
Insane.
I don't know whoever allowed that to happen, but this team's going to be hard to beat. So I'd like the Ravens to go in there and get the dub.
All right. Yeah, that wraps up our pick'ems for week 7. I think we're going to have some really, really great games. More excited about this week for sure than last week. I think there were just too many layups, obviously, for how easily we picked those games. So with that being said, remember to like, follow, rate, and review, subscribe, share. And, yeah, that's the last I heard.
Peace.
Go Canes.